All right, Gavin, we're here with TC, one of the designers of Viva Java, TC Petty, who's a Jab fan. So,
I'm a Jab fan.
and
I'm terrible at it, obviously, though.
we just played, and he just got
Destroyed.
knocked out by my wrestler boxer. So, just let's talk about what you think, and I want to hear what your thoughts were on campaign mode, because I think that's a great idea as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I've played, obviously. But, I mean, I played, like, what, 20 times during the summer, you know? But
Yeah.
now I'm just a little rusty. I really like that there's all these different decks, just because it kind of... The interchangeability...
Yeah.
It kind of, I mean, you take the base game and you're just adding these things. You're just adding a whole new set of little strategies to do.
What did you like and what did you dislike?
Well, I was still out of sorts. I think just because now I'm focusing on different things than I was before.
Yeah.
Like before, because I see the symbol, but it's different from what I had before. Like I mean, maybe specifically the elbow and the knee. I go like this, and I would go to something else real quick because I was like, oh man, those are really
Would names
close.
help for this? I mean, do you think? I think.
I think yeah. I think even with what you had, like the original game, you know, now looking at this, I get it more when I just see the word, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because you want to scream it out, I
Well,
guess.
yeah, and that's when we were playing Jab originally. It was always hook, jab, you know, uppercut. We would yell it out, and not having these names. So icons versus rules. So you know, we debate whether it's should we have just a rule down here or should everything be on the cards. What's your perspective on that?
Well, I remember there were some things I saw on Board Game Geek where the head had like special abilities.
Right.
That was for the other thing. I think even as long as it's simple enough, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like especially if you had the two, like the wrestling and the judo.
Yeah.
Like if those had even like their own little
Rule.
ability,
Yeah.
it's not hard. Like with all that's going on, I'm just too focused on that right now. With that, it's not going to add too much because already I've got enough to worry about. I mean, but being used to just the style of play, I kind of knowing that. I think it would be better to know ahead of time what somebody could do, just as a reference.
Yeah. Versus Jab, do you see this having? Do you see the additional layer of strategies that are in here with your choices in terms of the styles you're selecting and the potential? We didn't do training camp, but if you can imagine what your training camp options would do, how do you think that adds to the strategy of the game?
See, I like this. I mean, I like the fact that you're picking up different.
This being the different decks.
The different decks. So I was thinking, well, you could do it different ways. You could have a larger deck.
You could have a core deck and then add
on
in.
your card it tells you what to take out or what to put in. But I mean that kind of just adds to like how much time you're spending doing it.
We one thought is to have, because this is a lot of cards. This is 96 cards per side.
What I was thinking was like you're pretty much you're doing it, but you're not doing it. Where it's almost Dominion style, where you have this deck that you're building, but you're not really grabbing anything actively during the game.
Yeah.
But like like you said, if you had like a 10 card or 20 card base deck, and then you had these 10 other cards that you added in to that base deck, so you always knew you had a few that were there. I liked when the cardio thing we did.
Yeah.
That was
Taking cards out.
Yeah, the only issue I had was what if I took out all my
good cards.
My good cards that
yeah.
were gone.
Yeah. Gavin's objection to that is that what if it makes your deck better? And I don't see it making your deck better. I mean, honestly, it could.
But that's the thing. But that's the thing. It almost adds a little too much variability. Now,
because what we had was these exhaustion cards here, which were 1 point black cards. And so instead of just removing cards, you would take out cards and then you would add in these black cards. They're low points and they can't block. So that's version 2 where we had that. So and it was just, it felt like it was too many cards. It felt like it was unnecessary to add cards. And the whole idea is you've got fewer punches. Was what we were going for here. So we're still
The only thing with the cardio is if we tied. Like, I mean, it doesn't happen often, but we would have tied if we would have been playing 5. We might have gotten to the point we had like 10 cards.
Yeah, no, I know. So I think one is either leg kick. You have to have 2 leg kicks per card, or
but at
or
the
have
same
a
time,
higher.
if you're gonna do the cardio idea where you lose cards, it might be a good idea to have those cards off to the side that you can bring back, or like like in boxing they're like, oh, you gotta hit him with a kick. You gotta hit.
So
you gotta
corner man.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
You
that
gotta
we're
hit him
talking
with a kick. Oh, okay. Well, I'll just add these two to my deck.
Yeah, one idea is to have.
If you're going to be losing cards, because you don't know what you're losing specifically.
Yeah. That's one idea, is to have a corner man technique where you can either set your deck up, you can look at your cards while you're shuffling, or you can add some cards back in. So that's one of the ideas. But that's getting to the, is it too fiddly, too chromy kind of thing.
You never know.
So.
I mean, it just. I kind of like the cardio thing. Maybe you just have to work with how it plays out.
For 6 minutes.
You can edit it.
All right, I want to hear I want Gavin to hear your idea about campaign mode. What were you thinking there?
Well, I like the idea of building a fighter. I think that's one of the things that gives it. That's one of the hooks that people are doing now for like video game style. This kind of MMA.
Customizing
thing.
your
where you start off with a basic set, and then as you play, you start adapting it into something.
But permanent like, so it would be. It's not just virtual. Like I.
Oh yeah.
It's,
exactly. So like you would start. I mean, you were talking about like Risk Legacy style.
Yeah, like
but
stickers.
I'm not even saying that specifically. I'm just saying like, it doesn't have to be like this choice is the be all and end all. But just the idea that as you play, you start creating this fighter. Now, I guess I really like that idea, but it's kind of like one of those things where you do have to have people that will play it. So but if you market it as something that's like, build your fighter, play your fighter,
train
your fighter, then it's kind of interesting.
Right.
I mean, personally, I don't know how it will play out yet.
Yeah.
But I'm just like.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea. One of the ideas that I thought about early on was like this Risk Legacy style with stickers, and you add them to your card, and then that's your fighter, and once you put a sticker on, you can't change that aspect of your fighter. So it's kind of like a RPG adventure. Build your fighter up and make him really tough. How do you make that work, though? That's the kind of the question. So.
Well, I think you have the base of like picking specific power cards, different types of attacks. The only thing that I see like right now, like that I'm not like, is you notice it more in this game, the lack of power card. When you don't have a power card for a while, you notice it more here, because I'm thinking, oh man, I'm gonna try to get you on the ground, and I'm like, all right, I can't do anything. All right, keep going, and then yes, okay, and then maybe you block it or something happens.
Yeah.
So I like the takedown aspect. I think there might be some little tweaks to it.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something. And the submission thing, the only thing with the submission is I'm still confused as to how it works. If someone did it to me, I'd probably get it. But until it happens, I'll just be like, because I got to put a power punch.
Yeah, it's definitely different. And so how do we make it? So the challenge here, and we have another alternate method that uses 4 cards. So you play a card off to the side. That's your submission card, and you can play it at any time when you're on top. So you play that, and it starts a submission sequence, where I then steal your limb, and then color match it twice.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more prolonged, so it's more forecasting, as Gavin would say. but it gives you a chance to block it. But then you have to have the right cards in there. All right, Gavin, we're going to stop the video. Hopefully that was good for you to hear. Talk to you later.